let's quickly catch up on some PUBG news. It is October 29th as the time and date of this recording. And there is some PUBG skin events upcoming, which you guys should know based on my previous video. We'll cover that. And there's also a new PUBG game, a PUBG spin-off game, I should specify, by Krafton, the creators and owners of PUBG. So let's take a look and talk about it. All right, so first and foremost, expect to see your store page being updated within the next week or two. I think the current time for the PUBG Black Market event is going to be next week's update. So that'll be November 6th for PC and November 13th for console. Those dates are, TBA, or I guess they're not TBA, I guess to be announced, but they're subjected to change. So that's not a confirmed date by PUBG, but that's when I expect to see the update for the PUBG Black Market event. That should be two new things. Number one, there should be a new Black Market like tab up here, which is where they're going to allow you to get 4 old progressive skins that they're bringing back and new chroma variants for those progressive skins. In addition, we will see a G-Coin bundle where right now, here's all the standard G-Coin costs, 100 G-Coin up to 11,200 G-Coin. And during the Black Market event, there is usually a 2-for-1 G-Coin, a 50% off essentially G-Coin event. Those are single purchase onlys. So just keep that in mind. You won't be able to buy like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of G-Coin for the half off. I think if I remember, you could do one of the $100 bundles, one of the $50 bundles, and one of the $25 bundles for half off. You could buy one of each of those. I think that's the max that any one account can buy. But so if you're planning on buying G-Coin, I'm just saying hold off, wait a couple weeks until that event comes around, because there's a good likelihood that that discount program will be active again. We don't know for sure, but I'm just assuming based on the last couple of years history. Then also, since we're on that page down here, Creator Appreciation Program, you click on that, it'll bring you to PUBG's website. If you would, log into your account and choose your favorite PUBG content creator to support. If it's me, I appreciate that. Just choose CDome, and PUBG will give me a commission anytime you buy anything in the store at no extra cost to you, okay? So what are those skins? We've already gone over all the skin leaks that came out a couple of days ago, but PUBG themselves tweeted out an official tweet for the Black Market event. So it's a little short 10-second video, but here's what they show. Let me mute this actually real quick. And so it's the Mark 12, the barrel, the ace, and the M24. It's the over the rainbow ace, or over the rainbow M24 with a galaxy themed instead of rainbow themed. It's the black and gold ace. This time it's like a blue and silver ace. It's the old cyber threat Mark 12, and now it's like a maroon beige color. And then it's the deepest depths barrel, and it's a different shade of the, I forget what the shade is for the barrel, but it's a different color chroma variant for that. And for those who don't know what a chroma is, it's simply just a colored change for a progressive skin. So nothing changes with the gun. If you already own the old progressive skin, nothing changes with it. You can just potentially unlock a colored variant of that skin. However, the way that PUBG set up the Contraband creator code CDome system, which I don't agree with, but it's the way they set it up, is you could unlock a chroma version of a skin and not be able to use it, because you have to unlock the regular progressive version first. So when this crate comes out, let's say you don't already own this Mark 12, just use this one as an example. You could unlock the chroma variant of that Mark 12 and not be able to ever use that skin because you haven't yet unlocked the progressive Mark 12. So you have to unlock both of them to be able to use the chroma, which is dumb, but that's the way that the system currently is. So that's upcoming in the next couple weeks. So like I said, don't buy G-Coin yet. If you're looking to buy G-Coin, wait a couple weeks for this event to come out, because if they do a Black Market event with a skin sale or the G-Coin sale, you're obviously going to want to take advantage of that before you buy stuff. Now, the other thing was announcement and gameplay trailer of Krafton's new PC 5v5 top-down tactical hero shooter. It's a mouthful. And they're calling it PUBG Project ARC, ARC. Inspired by PUBG Battlegrounds, Mark 14, AWM, P90, Blue Zone Grenade, Folded Shield, Recon Drones, Proximity Explosives can all be heard in this video. We'll take a look at this video in just a second. It's on the Steam release. It can be wish listed right now, apparently. You can go to Steam and go add to your wish list. Planned release date is to be announced. Now, to be clear, this is not the same thing as Project Black Budget or PUBG 2.0. This is not the same thing. This was a smaller developer team. I think only 14 developers. It's developed by a team of 14 at Krafton. Krafton's PUBG Corp made this. And if you remember, this is very close to a game they tried to make, what, I guess about a year or 2 years ago, called, I think it was Thunder Tier 1. I'll show you some gameplay footage of that in just a second. But let's take a look at this. I got to mute it again just for DMCA reasons, but take a look at this quick little gameplay trailer they posted. And so in here, there's all of the like traditional gameplay PUBG sounds. So all of like the guns that you hear in PUBG, all the sounds, they're all playing in this trailer, by the way. And so it's got like this Rainbow Six Siege feel, but it's also top down, if that makes sense. So you're like, it's a lot of breaching clears and a lot of utility usage, a lot of tactical usage. Like you can break open the doors, you can reinforce the door. So it looks like that font even looked like Rainbow Six Siege. It looked like they tried to make, or they are trying to make, I should say, Rainbow Six Siege top down with some PUBG essence infused in there. I was watching this new for those UFO fans in chat, you guys know I'm into that kind of stuff. November 13th is the next congressional US hearing about UAPs, and yeah, it's potentially going to be a very exciting day if you're into UFOs, UAPs. Here's a better version of the trailer put on YouTube by Krafton. Again, I'm gonna have to mute it just for DMCA reasons. Let's take another look at the better graphic quality. 2 weapons, a primary, a pistol, a utility, health, armor, ammo. Seems pretty straightforward. You can see your shield bar, your health bar. And I guess it's like a, it says team deathmatch, but it looked like there's a lot of bomb play, yeah, like a, you know, search and destroy type thing too. So is it going to be really PC? Because that's what Player IGN said. Is this what this says? Check out our first ever reveal of Project Arc, a 5v5 PvP shooter with immersive gunplay. Immersive gunplay for a top-down shooter? Are we sure about that? We are yet to open our game to the public, but keep us on the radar if you'd like to experience a realistic, skill-based, and thrilling gunfights like never before in a top-down shooter. This has got to be for mobile, right? Like, I know that Player IGN said PC. Are PC players really looking to play a top-down shooter? I don't think so, but you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a group of PC players that are. But look, so this game is just like CDome Thunder Tier 1. Okay, so 3 years ago, I did a video. I think I've done a few videos on this, but at the time, this was their new spinoff. Called Thunder Tier 1. So it's a PUBG spinoff by Krafton, a top-down tactical shooter based on 1 player up to 4 player co-op that uses a lot of realistic military elements with PUBG assets to provide a pretty fun experience. That was my description of this video from 3 years ago. Now, really different about this game, and I think I can actually play audio on this one. Different about this game is that it was 4 player co-op. The new game is 5v5 PvP. So I played this game. Okay, so my target's up here. Giving it an actual go, right? Like I was really trying to like, okay, let me experience this thing. And I thought this game was actually pretty fun because it was basically like you were doing like a campaign, a tactical campaign game, top down, and you could play it co-op if you had friends online to play with. And I was just doing solo. But there definitely was some fun elements to it. But the game didn't do well at all. Like, I mean, there's a reason why a lot of you probably even know what this game is. Nice. And so there's like You can see a lot of the tactical coordination. So I shoot one guy and the NPCs know to shoot, you know, know to shoot the other ones.
Oh shit. Oh shit. So ends, huh? SKS?
So all the PUBG guns are there.
Right. Oh, Car 98 though? Magazine. Is this just pistol ammo? Yeah, that is.
I forgot they had this whole loot menu too. So I guess they did away with this whole loot menu. You can use the drone to get data and intel before you go to into each room. So anyway, I'm not going to obviously go through the whole video. Just showing you just a little gameplay teaser of what they did 3 years ago. That's probably going to be very similar to the play style of the new game. So if you're interested in seeing like actual what is this game going to feel like, you can go check out my old video and go watch that. So that is the new news about PUBG's new game. You know, a lot of people, I saw like Cambino retweeted that on Twitter and was like, if this is really the next game utilizing PUBG IP, this is very sad. And, you know, I would just like to say it ain't the first time, you know, because like this, I guess to be fair, this game wasn't called PUBG. This was called Thunder Tier 1. I don't think this game officially had PUBG like in its title or anything. I don't think. Yeah, it was just called Thunder Tier 1. So I guess it was like technically its own thing, but it was made by Krafton. It was obviously using a lot of PUBG assets. So it is weird that we're seeing this PUBG spinoff before we actually see PUBG 2.0, right? Like I think we all would have expected PUBG 2.0 to be shown off before this new game. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I can just take a shot in the dark at what your thoughts are, but obviously sound off in the comments, or if you guys are on the live stream, let me know what you're thinking about the new game, whether or not you'd even be interested in playing it, if it's free to play. I don't know if it's a free to play game or not. I'm assuming it is. That's what everything is these days. It's, you know, free to play with a bunch of cosmetics and shit. But, you know, is that something you even be interested in playing? A Counter-Strike Go, Rainbow Six Siege top-down shooter? Like, I could see the appeal if it was on mobile. You know, like maybe, okay, so it's going to be on mobile. I'm taking it on the go. I can't play PUBG because PUBG isn't on mobile anymore. Or I guess it's PUBG mobile, but not PUBG PC, you know, like PUBG Lite or whatever. So maybe that'd be a fun alternative to it. But I don't know. Me personally, I need to see PUBG 2.0. I need to see PUBG on UE5, and the game will never be loaded in my PC. Period. I need to see PUBG 2.0 with UE5. And people are asking to see them. What's up with that? So when I went to Germany a few months ago, I asked the creative director of PUBG, the not creative director, sorry, the lead developer of PUBG, Taehoon Kim, and he said 2025 at the earliest is what they're shooting for a UE5 for PUBG. So like he was not like 2025 it's coming. 2025 was the earliest, and so, you know, here we are at the end of October, and we don't even have a teaser to show off for PUBG 2 yet. And I've given my thoughts on this before. On one hand, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them taking their time to genuinely let the project cook and not show off or early pre-hype or try to pre-sale or try to like cash grab any of that crap before the game is actually ready to be properly shown off and released. Because Halo Studios, so just to give you a frame of reference, oh, it's just like Halo on Twitter. Okay, so they just announced officially a big rebrand to Halo Studios, and they're officially changing over to Unreal Engine 5. Like, Halo has never been on Unreal Engine before, or Unreal Engine. Yeah, Halo's never been on Unreal Engine before. They always had their what they call Blam engine. It's basically an in-house developed engine, and they've recently had a bunch of issues with it for Halo Infinite. So they're making the big switch to Unreal Engine 5 for the next Halo, and they're already showcasing teasers for it. And to be fair, this is not like an in-game teaser, work in progress, content rendered in UE5, but they had this whole thing, Halo Studios, Unreal Engine. They had this whole thing prepared to show off for Halo, to get the fans hyped up about Unreal Engine 5. So like they did this whole pre-rendered thing to show off, hey, this is what Halo is going to look, this is what we're shooting for, this is what it could look like, or what we want it to look like on Unreal Engine 5. And I just bring this up just to say, we don't even have that yet for PUBG 2. And PUBG 2, you could argue, has probably been in development for at least 2, maybe 3 years at this point. You know, maybe it's been on and off, and the scope of the project has shifted. But I would be very surprised to learn if they have not been internally working on a PUBG successor for more than 2 years now. I'd be very surprised to learn that. So if Halo can spit this out after, you know, almost overnight announcing a switch to Unreal Engine 5, this is what I would like to see from PUBG. But at the same time, with the same breath, I also don't want them to rush it out. What I don't want them to do is half-ass it, ship out a half-baked product that just slaps PUBG 2 because it says Unreal Engine 5, and you know it's a buggy mess. We don't want that as the fans, as the player base. As much as we want the new PUBG, we don't want this thing to come out half-baked. We want it to be done properly. Don't rush it. Don't try to, let's just push it out and then we're going to do a couple of seasonal updates to fix the crap we should have fixed in the front end. Like, let's do it properly the first time, then we release it for real. That's what I want to see for PUBG. And I just hope it just doesn't take forever. Obviously, the game's already, you know, 7+ years old at this point. It'll be 8 years, next year? So the sooner the better. But at the same time, you know, we want it to be right. You know, we want it to be done properly when it's released. That's my 2 cents on it. Yeah, so the way, the history of Halo, if you're not, I'm a big Halo nerd, so I've kind of been following it all along. But it was Bungie. Then Bungie wanted to get away from Microsoft and get away, because Microsoft bought Bungie initially, because Bungie was making Halo for Mac. Like at Macworld back in 1999, they were like showcasing, hey, we have this new third-person shooter for Macworld for Halo, and that they were making Halo for Mac. And then Microsoft said, no, wait a minute, we want to build an Xbox console. We want your game to be the flagship. We're going to pay you a boatload of money. Come work for Microsoft now. We own Bungie. We own the rights to Halo and all that kind of crap. You know, come make the game for us. And they switched to Halo, a first-person shooter, and the rest is history. Then at Halo, 3 was the last Halo made by Bungie, or I guess Halo Reach technically was, but then they sold the rights to Microsoft, went and did their own thing to do Destiny, and then Microsoft created 343 Industries with some of the original Bungie developers, and then a bunch of new developers. They did their thing for a number of years, have not been doing very successfully, might I add. Now they're doing a whole big rebrand where they fired a bunch of the top lead brass. Now they changed from 343 Industries to what they're calling Halo Studios, where hopefully they're kind of like an umbrella corp over multiple smaller developer teams, developer studios that make separate Halo games. Because that's one thing that the community's been asking for, is why are we waiting 5 or 6 years in between each Halo title? We should have multiple Halo experiences released every couple of years, and it doesn't have to be like successors to each other. It can be like the Master Chief story for the FPS Halo, the traditional Halo, and then maybe the next year it's a Halo Wars spinoff, or the next year it's a ODST spinoff, or whatever, just different experiences in the lore of universe. So that's why I think PUBG doing this is not a bad idea. I just don't know if a top-down shooter, like I don't connect with the top-down shooter genre. So for me, when I see that, I'm like, you guys tried this 3 years ago with Thunder Tier 1. I know it didn't work well. Like I know that was not successful. They did Callisto Protocol, which at first was supposed to be like, this is going to be a PUBG universe, like a futuristic PUBG universe. I don't think Callisto Protocol had anything to do with PUBG. And that one also didn't go too well, right? So like, they're trying to make PUBG spin-off things, but at the same time, you have to have the core game that like funds and funnels all of the hype for the spin-offs. Yes, the last thing we want is a PUBG full of glitches and bugs. Yes. Like when PUBG 1 came out, I feel like they kind of got a pass because it was obvious that, you know, PUBG was this it was this new thing, right? Like it was a spin-off of like what of the DayZ engine or whatever it was, like PUBG 2017 gameplay. And, you know, like, so you kind of had this this pass that the player base gave you because it was okay to be buggy. It was okay to be like, what is this crazy shit? Like, it was all right. Everyone was okay with it. But now that the game is 7 years old and it's made by a AAA studio, you know, with plenty of funding behind it, you expect there to be a higher level of fidelity. And you know, bug, what do you call it? What's the word when they debug or whatever? I forget. Quality assurance. My brain's kind of farting out right now. How many people do you think will fall off before PUBG? Wait, how many people do you think will fall off PUBG before NA server reversion? Games have been so rough since that. What's in December? So about a month from now? I don't know. I'll be honest, man. My games haven't been that bad. Like, I definitely had plenty of desyncy moments since the server merger. Like, I've had plenty of them, but I don't feel like it's like the game's unplayable. You know, some people have just worse connections, so their experience is probably worse, but mine hasn't been that bad. I'm looking forward to December, though. Oh, dude, Halo Infinite is fun. Don't get it twisted. Halo Infinite is still fun. It's a great game. The gameplay is very smooth for Halo Infinite. Me personally, I'm just kind of over TDM games. I thoroughly enjoy battle royales. I want something else to be in the game. I'm just not interested in TDMs anymore at this point. I grew up on all that. It's like I've seen it all. I've done it all, you know? No, I never played the old PUBG Detro on Arma 2. No. Oh, dude, Fortnite, man, I've said it forever. Obviously, it's not a unique idea, original idea, but Fortnite, the developers, if you don't give them their flowers, you're crazy. Like, you as a PUBG fan you should die to have Fortnite as the developers of PUBG. Like, I'm not saying let the game go off into, you know, cartoon arcade land. I mean, from a standpoint of like the rate of content creation, the risks that they were willing to take, the carefree attitude just to try shit. And if it didn't work, throw it in the vault, get it out of there. Like, they really took a lot of chances, and obviously the game is way more accessible than PUBG because it's, you know, it's a cartoon game, it's third person, all that kind of stuff. So like that would have been a separate situation anyway. But PUBG, man, like they had the hype opportunity and they nailed it. Like they were the top game for a while, and it's not easy to stay up there, you know. Like, you're never gonna be at the top of your game or whatever the genre you're in forever. It's impossible. But some people hold it a lot longer than others, you know? Yeah, I thought Destiny was really fun too, man. Like, I thought Bungie did a great Jesus. I thought Bungie did a great job with Destiny as well. And I thought it had a really cool like PvPvE integration. I never got into the PvP part of it though, because again, I was kind of done with like team deathmatch shooters, you know. That doesn't like really get me going anymore. Now Bungie is making a new game called Marathon. For those that don't know, Marathon was one of their original big hits. It was like a Doom shooter. And this is before they made Halo. This is one of the games that kind of put them on the map as an early development team. They're making a Marathon sequel. I guess it's technically the fourth installment of Marathon, but this is like a whole new thing. It's going to be an extraction It's going to be an extraction shooter. So like a Tarkov competitor, but with like Bungie graphics, mechanics, that kind of stuff. So that could be pretty interesting, man. And that definitely seems like the new wave is that companies are investing a lot of money into extraction shooters. You had DZ from Warzone, like that was like their version of an extraction shooter, which is a fun mode. You obviously got Escape from Tarkov. You had a bunch of spin-off games. You got Bungie developing their own extraction shooter, and when a big developer like Bungie does it, there's money in it, because they would not be investing millions and millions and millions to make it if it wasn't the case. So they're doing that. You got PUBG with Project Black Budget, which was like kind of technically supposed to be an extraction shooter. So they haven't officially announced to reconfirm or backtrack on that, but Black Budget is supposed to be an extraction shooter set in the PUBG universe. So remove some BS and call it PUBG. No, it definitely don't do that. See, that's the thing. The novelty will wear off. The novelty will wear off if it's just like a cash grab. That's my genuine impression. I could be wrong, but I think PUBG needs to really nail this second one. And that may mean simplifying it a little bit. It may mean taking out, oh, it's coming in late. That may mean taking out some of the things like right now we're watching PUBG 2017, right? These are some old montages from back in the day. When PUBG first came out, it was TPP. Like this was how the game released to the public originally. And, enough people played it and requested there to be an FPP mode that they made one. But if left to their own devices, the original developer, Brendan Green with Bluehole, they released it as TPP. The question could be asked, do they make it TPP only or FPP only for the new game? Like, that's a valid question as a developer team. You have to go through that process of, one of the downsides that we're experiencing with our game right now is a decreased player base, right? Because it's a decreased player base, now you run into other issues with queue times. And what exacerbates that is having so many different queues. You have solo, duo, squad, solo TPP, duo TPP, squad TPP, solo FPP, duo FPP, squad FPP, solo squad FPP, solo squad TP. Like, so there's so many things that split your players away from each other. There's ranked mode, there's solo, duo, ranked, squad ranked. Maybe the question is, as a game, what are we really trying to, an experience, what are we trying to create? Are we trying to create a TPP experience or an FPP experience? Or do we risk having both? I don't know what the answer to that should be. I know as a biased person, I would say, oh, I want FPP because I think the game plays better in FPP. I think it's more competitive. The competitive integrity is obviously there for esports if it's FPP. And I just think a game like PUBG, like Fortnite, if you said, oh, they're going to make Fortnite FPP, they could do it, but it wouldn't feel right. Like building and stuff like that, it just wouldn't feel right. If they said, hey, Gears of War is coming out, but it's going to be FPP, but you're still going to be able to wall hug and stuff like that, like it just wouldn't feel right. That's not how the game was designed, And so like they have to ask themselves, how are we designing PUBG to be played? Is it supposed to be a TPP experience? I would argue no, because Gears of War, Fortnite, the shooting mechanics in those games are way different, and you're not really encouraged. I mean, you honestly can't. And some of the weapons, you can't even aim down sights with some of the weapons, so you're never really forced into a first person perspective. Whereas PUBG, you're severely penalized if you don't aim down sight and go into a first person perspective. So I feel like it is designed to be an FPP game, If they leave one option, they lost 50% players in one day. Well, look, the honest truth is that TPP is the more popular game mode for PUBG, mainly because skins are more visible in TPP, and people who buy skins want to see their skins. So I get the argument to keep TPP over FPP. I would get it. I don't know if I would quit playing the game though, if I'm being honest. Like, as much as I prefer FPP over TPP, it might be one of those things where I would just learn to adapt into TPP. Having said that, I don't know if TPP players, the majority of them, I don't know if they would want to learn to adapt to FPP, because it is a much harder experience. And, you know, there's a reason why people play a lot of TPP. It's not because they're bad players, but it is a more casual experience, and some people want that casual experience and they're not willing to sweat in the FPP environment. TPP casuals and FPP ranked, that could be a legitimate compromise, because if you could imagine a brand new, I mean, look at this. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is TPP, right? If you could imagine, that's funny. Wow, that's actually really funny. If you could imagine a game with a popping player base, right? A thriving player base, where you could go play ranked all day, every day, and never find a problem getting a lobby. And also, because there's a lot of players, you're actually being ranked against players of equal skill. That could be a legitimate compromise. That could. Shoxy, I think a lot of people would agree with you that they were once TPP players, but once they legitimately tried FPP and felt more comfortable in FPP, they would agree that it's actually a better experience. And I say that because the TPP experience is undoubtedly more casual than FPP, right? And that's okay. It's okay just to want to get on and vibe out with your friends, or even just by yourself. You just don't want to sweat all day. You want to get a little bush and have a fun little gameplay. I get it. I used to love playing SOCOM, and like I'm with you on TPP. But once you yourself get better at the game and you start like getting confident in your gameplay potential, you feel way more rewarded when you do well on FPP. And so that's what I think you are feeling, and a lot of players who try what you were doing are feeling, is that it feels better to do well in FPP versus TPP. Like, you feel like I'm actually working a little bit harder to do the same kill count as I would in TPP, or the same, win count or whatever. Have I ever played PUBG with Summit? No, but I did ironically post a video literally today on YouTube where I was in a solo lobby with Summit. That's very ironic you asked that question. I was literally my video posted today about it. All right, let's go play some PUBG ourselves. So we'll end the video here, chat. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave it a like, thumbs up, share it with a buddy, all that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts below if you're watching this not live later about the new PUBG game, thoughts on PUBG 2, and any new information that you'd like me to cover that we haven't already covered. Let me know.